All right, what's going on, Legion fans? Welcome to another episode of the Legion of Comic Correction, where we correct our least favorite comic book movies.
Most unfavorite?
Most unfavorite? I think that's probably, I don't know. I don't think
Least
I've ever...
favoritist. Least
favoritist
Oh,
that I did not
that's
enjoy.
Yeah, that's
the least favoritist.
I forgot. Grammar
Technical
escaped me for a
terms.
minute there. You're
These
right.
are scientific terms we're using here.
They
These
use
are.
this in the industry.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All
That's
the
right.
time.
All
Well,
the time in the industry.
I mean, in all honesty, we are comic book scientists.
That's right.
This area is called the Nerd Lab.
That's right.
So
this
we
is
are
the Nerd
here
Lab.
in the Nerd Lab, and
We are in the Nerd Lab
we
cooking
have
up
a
some science.
some science, some comic science.
That's right.
You guys
very-
need lab coats.
That's actually not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea at all.
That's right.
Lab coats.
All
I
right.
like it.
Stealing
I
my
like
ideas.
it. That's true. Gonna steal
We're
your
gonna
ideas.
patent that, no?
Yeah.
Well, we have a special guest here today. Logan,
We
would
do.
you like to introduce him?
We do. We have my brother-in-law here with us.
Woo, woo.
Kyle, last name redacted. We need to make sure we protect his privacy.
That's
He's
right.
A
He's a very
I appreciate
private
it.
individual.
very private individual,
Yeah.
much
That's
like
what I'm saying,
Ron
front and
Swanson.
center.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. But a lot of this
Yeah.
is covering your face.
That's
so,
true.
So that's actually fair.
Well,
We're
we can-
only
I
getting
will never
eyes.
move.
If you want, I can blur out your face if you'd rather.
If you
it's not that
prefer.
bad. It's not that bad.
Well, here's
okay.
the thing is he's got some ripe some ripe comic knowledge.
Well, college comic knowledge.
College
well,
comic
well, you
knowledge.
see, I combined comic and knowledge together and it became college, which
College,
is totally
yeah.
That's a legitimate
That's an
degree.
actual word, and he has a degree in Superman.
I'm sure he does. So
Yeah.
that's why he stays so isolated, because he doesn't want people to know
Right.
all this incredible knowledge.
Well, and
that's
it's
why we
called the
brought him on
Fortress
today.
of Solitude for a reason.
Oh,
He needs to be in his
Are we
fortress.
saying something?
I'm just saying. So, Kyle and I, we nerded out very early on as soon as I got to know him over comics, but he is all Superman. I am all Batman. We've had
It's
a
a
lot
perfect
of good
matchup.
Yeah, we've had a lot of really good conversations around it. But today,
World's finest.
Exactly. We are having a real breakdown around one of the worst Superman movies of all time, arguably the worst.
It's a
Ooh.
tough toss-up between this and the Quest for Peace.
Right. And so
Superman
our
4.
fans, I'm sure, can guess it at this point. But we actually, Kyle, do you want to introduce it?
Yeah, what movie are we doing, Kyle?
Oh, we're doing Superman Returns.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Superman Returns. Oh my gosh, it is so bad.
Oh, it's real bad.
Yeah.
It is so bad. But let's dig into
Yeah.
the Carnage report and get ourselves going here.
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh wait, no. I'm sorry.
Ow!
Every time. Every
you
time.
are so lucky. This is why we don't give our guests headphones.
He
'cause
said
it
Yeah.
that
blew my ears
he
out.
lives in a whole nother state, and that's why,
Yes.
because he can hear me still really far away.
You know they make foam for the walls that'll like die that down a little bit.
We're
Yeah,
gonna,
we're gonna work.
we are gonna do
We
that.
haven't gotten there yet.
All right.
Because for those of you
Yeah.
who don't
Baby
know,
steps.
Logan's house is 3 floors.
Yeah,
3
well, I mean,
floors
well,
and a basement.
include 3
So
floors
we're
and a basement.
4.
Yeah.
We're in the basement, and people on the top floor can hear us.
Your
when
mom,
we're doing our
your mom,
podcast.
and Carly
Don't.
when we're typically recording.
They go as
all the way
far
up,
as they
and
can
still
away,
hear.
and they're like,
Yeah.
it's like they're in the same room. It's like,
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have to take a minute.
What do we have to take a minute
because
for?
we received
Oh, that's
a
right.
beautiful piece of fan mail from one of our Patreons.
Yeah.
So I wanted to
Yeah.
be able to show this
Yeah,
off.
we're using
one of
it,
our
too.
Patreon subscribers and a person who's been a guest on here
That's
on
right,
a
he
few
has.
times. Andy Ross sent us
Yeah,
a
Andy.
Miss Minutes mug.
Yo, we are big Miss Minutes fans.
Huge Miss Minutes fans. I'm very,
Yeah.
actually, if you've been
Yo.
following our Twitter at all, which I encourage you to
Blowing
follow
it up,
at
blowing it
Comic
up.
Correction. Follow us on Twitter to Twitter to be able to, number one, I've taken over the Twitter at this point.
Yes, and it's
actually gone
kinda
way off the
gross.
rails. Way off the rails at this point. We are lost.
Yeah,
It is
it-
basically
it's
anything
wonderful.
that comes into my head gets tweeted at this
I
point, which is
literally-
not necessarily a good thing.
I go on at least twice, maybe 3 times a day, just to see all the things you posted, because every day it's like 10 or 12 things.
Well, yeah, I have
what
a
is he
here.
doing?
Let me tell you
It's
my
great.
technique around Twitter. My technique, basically, with Twitter, when you don't have a lot of followers, you're just kind of shouting into the unknown.
Yeah.
like nobody is actually listening to
Oh,
you.
the
You're
one
just
who
kind of
shouts.
like sending stuff out there. So my technique is just like scatter shot. I am firing a whole lot off.
It's kind of
and
like Horton
maybe
Hears
like-
a Who.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he's trying to break it out with that
Right.
yap,
Yeah.
with that yarp, and break it out.
I get
That's
one maybe like a day off of like 10, 12 tweets, and it's like fine.
Yeah, but
I'm happy with that result.
But you've almost doubled our followers in the past.
It's true.
like,
It's true. I'm very
4
excited,
days,
and our
so.
followers are great. But our Andy has sent us this mug. We are big Miss Minutes fans, and if you follow our Twitter,
Yeah.
I have said I believe. Whoa, I gotta shake that because I actually have liquid in there. I believe Miss Minutes is actually the greatest power
She is the big
in
bad,
all of the
man.
universe,
We've
all
been
of the
saying
Marvel
it
universe.
since,
I
like,
believe
episode
she is
2.
actually the one behind everything and actually holds
Yeah.
all the power in the TVA.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
Tara Strong, if you are listening, give us a shout out. We'd love to have a shout out. We love Ms. Minutes. She's great.
But thank you to our Patreons, and also thank you to Andy. If you are not already
Yeah,
a
Andy.
Patreon subscriber,
Do it.
jump on because we've got some big giveaways coming up. We've got
That's
some
right.
raffles coming up.
That's right.
Take advantage of the opportunities. Hop on, and you'll also get to hear our podcast and nothing, which is an exclusive
Yeah, extra
to our
pod
Patreons.
every other week.
All right, let's jump into the Carnage Report now.
Let's do it. All right, so Carnage Report, we always talk about how much money the movie made,
This has to be
its
terrible.
budget,
This has to be terrible. Like this
Who
has
was
to be
in it?
utter carnage.
and the reviews. All right, so Kyle and I know this, but
Okay.
we've been doing this recently where I ask you to guess
Yes.
how much money it cost to make the movie, and then how much money it made.
Yes.
So how
Yeah.
much do you think? What do you think the budget? Now remember,
What year was this? Give me a year.
So-
2006?
2006.
Six.
Yeah,
2006.
2006. So
Okay.
it had
Good
been
guess.
Oh.
they're pushed into this film because it had been 1987
Okay.
was the last time we'd seen a Superman movie. It was the Quest for Peace with a Superman 4 with the Nuclear Man.
Are we going
So-
to count Lois and Clark?
Was that a movie?
It was a show.
No.
No, because then
No.
we'd
Sure.
have to count Smallville
No,
too.
that's Dean
Ooh.
Cain,
Right?
right?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
we're not
yeah.
counting
Okay.
that. We're not counting
and
that.
Smallville was pretty good. So
Smallville was good.
Yeah.
Smallville was
I
fun.
enjoyed Soil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
Smallville, but Tom Welling for the win, right?
Sure.
But the first movie since '87, so
Okay.
it came out in 2006.
So we got
So what do you think?
we got almost. Wait, you said 2006.
Warner Brothers, right? Brian.
I will say I have a little bit of background on this because I
Okay.
know they dumped a whole bunch of money into this movie. I know that this was a massive budget for the time period that it was.
Okay, what do you think?
270 million.
Stop it!
270 million.
Did you read my screen?
No, I didn't
That's a
read your
great
screen.
guess.
Number one, that's my
Jeez.
screen. Number one. Number two,
There.
no, I didn't read it.
You are right on the. It's 270 million.
No way!
Wow.
That's the exact.
That's
number.
amazing.
You got it. Did you
That's
look this up before
impossible.
you gave
No,
us
I
a
did
look?
not. No,
Yeah.
you know
Right.
I do no research.
I know. Yeah,
I do
that's
no
true.
research.
It would
I
be-
come full on emotion. That is what you get from me. You get rage and you get emotion. That's all you get.
All right, so 270.
Yep.
What do you think it made worldwide?
Ooh, this is going to be the good one because everybody does want to see a good Superman movie. I
Yep.
know that it had to have made money, but it didn't make. I know it didn't double its profit. I know that
Right,
for sure.
remember
So-
we've talked about this before on the show that a movie should be close to doubling its profit if it wants to
Right,
make up for
right.
advertising and production and all that. So this one should be, it's 270 million. should be
390. 390 million is my guess.
making- You didn't did you tell him, Kyle?
He definitely looked this up beforehand.
He had to. Have
What?
looked it up. It's 391.
391? No way! No way! Yes!
391. It was 391. It was only 200 million in domestic.
Yeah, I 100%
390
cheated.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
I 100%
Well,
cheated.
yeah, okay.
You were talking
out.
to Kyle
Get
about
out.
this ahead of time, and I was on the phone, and you think I have bipolar. I carry multiple conversations at the same time.
Yeah, but you were
you
having
know
a
I
very
heard what you were
important
talking about. Come on.
I was speaking somewhat
No,
quietly.
you weren't. No, you weren't.
Well, then you pretend to not know.
Yeah, you
no,
were
this was funnier.
It's for the people.
But this was funnier for the people.
That's true.
maybe it's like 1 billion. Right? Come on, man.
Well, I had faith in this movie.
I nailed
Well,
it. But either way,
I had faith in
that
it too, and it was
is terrible. That
Yeah,
is
it's not
terrible
good.
because
Not
we've
good.
said they got to double their budget to even be making a profit, especially on this.
Right.
270 million at that time is astronomical in terms of a budget.
Yeah, it's relatively
astronomical.
high. Well, and you saw,
And it was so much CGI money.
Do we know how much
So
was like
much
in the first
CGI.
weekend?
Ooh.
Did it like get a lot of money in the first week, and then people realize they should like spread the word?
Oh,
You shouldn't
that's
see
a
this
good
movie.
question. Like a tanked.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah, I feel like it
super
had to
tank?
have.
Yeah. So we had about 53 million open.
Oh no, that's not a good one.
So
that's
it's not
a good
that.
opening
It's not
weekend.
that great.
No.
If it was like 100 million first weekend, or 120 million.
You
first
understand
weekend,
that budget is about the same as Infinity War and Endgame.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it is in the ballpark. 300 million, I believe, is what Endgame was off the top of my head. 300 million.
316.
316.
Yeah, so
okay,
that's
what
true.
was
It's not
Infinity
that-
War? What was Infinity War?
That was Infinity War.
Oh, okay. What was
That's it?
Endgame? Yeah, I know, right?
Wow. For both?
I don't know. That's a good question.
356.
356,
So, yeah,
okay.
that was a good,
All right,
good amount higher.
but Infinity
still,
War.
Yeah, Infinity War was comparable.
In that year. Okay, you're talking.
Yeah, because Infinity War was
You're talking with
2018.
12-year difference. That's just appreciation. That's not even. That's insane.
That's so much
for the
money.
same amount, roughly the same amount of money, calculating appreciation in, we got Superman Returns,
He didn't even fight a robot.
and he didn't even fight a robot. He didn't
Not
even
even
fight a
close.
person.
No.
he
Well,
fought
he
a few
did.
people.
You got that one. There was one
With
cool
the-
scene where he
with
got
the-
shot in the eye. That's
You're
about
right.
it.
The
one-
One
yes,
really cool
yes.
scene.
With, like, that
But
rail
not
gun.
a
Yeah.
villain.
No.
Like he didn't fight a villain.
Oh, we'll get to
in
who the
this.
villain was.
I know,
It was
right?
a real big villain.
I know it was. It was
Technically-
massive. It was massive.
Technically, he fought.
It's the real estate
He
market. We'll get to
fought.
that.
he fought
Especially the way the real estate market is right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is a massive villain.
technically, he fought Kevin Spacey, but he was kryptonite.
Not really.
Kevin Spacey stabbed him.
Yeah,
That's not a fight. That's
That
just
is
dude
not a
getting
fight.
stabbed.
That's a singular move.
That's true. Well, but it was at least a scuffle.
If I stab you, would you call that fighting?
What I would do after you stabbed me? Yes.
No, but he did nothing after
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
I'm
true.
saying.
He fell over.
He
Well,
fell over.
If you stab
not
me
a
with
fight.
a poison dart, I guess it's more of an assassination attempt.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's
That is
true.
exactly what it is.
All right, so cast. Well, first of all, director. We need to remember that this is Bryan
Oh yeah,
Singer.
this is a big. This
This
big
was
deal.
huge. Bryan Singer will never forget this, I'm sure, and I feel sorry for him. I'm sure he had a great time making this movie, but
Bryan Singer's not going to live down a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah.
But
well,
let's
so
set
he
that
did
aside
he
here.
did X1, X2. He pretty much pioneered the modern day superhero movies.
Yeah, he
and
kicked it off for
X2
sure.
was great. X1 was great. X2 was great.
Much better X2.
Yes,
Yes.
for sure. And then he left X3, gave it
Yeah.
over to Brett Ratner.
Trash.
Yep, that was garbage. We reviewed it if you want to look back on our channel.
Check it out.
And then he took on Superman. Now, I don't blame him for taking Superman.
No,
because
not at all.
Oh,
he
yeah.
did say it was like his childhood dream to direct a Superman film. He really wanted to make a Superman film. So, like,
You
I
get
get
that
that.
chance, you take that. Like I get
Yeah,
it.
so
He
I
took
get
it.
Yeah. But
The problem is you hold on to it. He dropped it like crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Why? How do you take a if you're a lifelong Superman fan? How do you take a Superman movie and make the movie that he made?
I don't know.
I don't
well,
get
I bet
it.
if you watch the first one and this one side to side, now that I'm thinking about it, they kind of play the same. Like,
It
there's
is-
not a
you're
lot
right.
of whole lot of
Yeah,
action.
you're
It's a
absolutely
lot
right.
of like, look at Superman.
And
he's
it
like
is
this-
about
yeah.
real estate.
You're
Like,
exactly right. It is
Was
about
there real estate
Yeah,
too
Lex
in the
Luthor
first
in the
one?
We were
first.
trying
He's
to-
under the sewers. Like they have like the and they're trying to
Oh,
buy
This
land
is like the
around.
Star Wars thing that keeps
Yeah,
happening.
that's
They
true.
just
Exactly.
instead of doing
Yeah.
something new, they're just like, hey, we'll just redo this
He-
old thing.
What the deal was.
but worse.
Yeah.
What the deal was in the first Superman was Lex Luthor was trying to sink California into the ocean because he had
that's
bought
right.
all the real
Right.
estate
Yeah.
On
up
the other
along
side-
the
along the
other
San
side
Andreas
of
Fault.
the San Andreas Fault.
Yeah.
So he had bought all this desert
And have a new
which
West
was
Coast.
going to be the new West Coast.
But you forgot about Superman's greatest superpower and your favorite movie trope,
Oh my
time
God.
travel.
Yeah.
Time
Let me fly
travel.
Okay, all right. That's a completely different movie. We can
All
do
right.
that anytime.
We'll
I'm
talk
getting
about
off
it, but
track.
Yeah,
but
that's
in all seriousness, that's a really good
That's a good
connection.
observation, yeah,
because
for
that's
sure.
what they tried to do. How did they not figure this out? They saw a 2006. They did the exact same thing with Star Wars, where they recreated A New Hope. Okay, with
Hey,
the
you
Force
know what?
Awakens,
And it's a
and
similar.
they did the same thing here
It's
with
a
Superman
similar-
Returns as Superman.
It's a
And
similar.
it didn't work then. Why
And
would
it
it
looks
work?
like
in-
Christopher Reeve too.
It's a similar progression too. So you have J.J. Abrams who successfully re-kickstarted classic sci-fi with the Star Trek series.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right.
And then he leaves Star Trek in
Are
order
we
to do
in-
one
are
of his
we in
favorite
time
franchises
travel?
of Star Wars.
Are we in time travel?
We're in a loop.
Oh,
like, are
man.
we in a loop?
I've come to bargain. All right, so cast-wise. So we've got Brandon Routh comes in as Clark Kent, which spitting image, like he does a
Looks
great job
like
of
him.
looking
Yep.
like Christopher
Looks
Reeve.
like him. Can't deny that.
He's not the worst at doing a Christopher Reeve impression, but it would have been better if he went his own direction.
yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know. He's not the best actor in the world, but it is what it is. I know you're not a huge fan of him. I liked him in Scott Pilgrim. I thought he was great. He's not that
well, he was
bad.
only in it for
these-
like 10
Scott
minutes.
Pilgrim,
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
in it as a vegan, a fake vegan for
great.
like 3
great.
minutes.
It's
But he
great.
did have superpowers too. So.
He did. As
did.
He won't let
vegan
go of the
superpower
superpower
And he was
thing.
cool. Yeah, well, he's the Atom in the DC TV shows.
Oh, that's right. I
He's
think
the
he plays the old
You know
Superman
what?
too.
He does in the
Yeah.
Kingdom Come crossover,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was actually it was fine. Anyway,
I will say him as Adam was pretty good. He's
as the Atom, he's
improved-
good.
He's improved as an actor, but back
well,
then,
hopefully.
no, he's trash.
Yeah.
He's garbage.
So Kevin Spacey comes in as Lex Luthor. Kate Bosworth comes in as Lois Lane. We get James Marsden. He left with Bryan Singer.
Right.
He stopped being Cyclops and came over to be Richard White, who is Lois Lane's husband and
right.
thought to
yeah.
be father of the child who is not really
Nobody
his
who
child.
watched this movie, nobody was fooled by this child being James Marsden's character's son.
I was
no one.
I was a little fooled.
No, you
actually.
weren't. No, you weren't.
I
I
was.
mean, I think I was.
For real?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
3
think.
seconds in, I said that's his son.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember. This is a really long time ago.
I
This is
think
a really long time
There
ago
were
I
no
first saw
plot
it.
twists. There were no plot twists in this movie. They needed one.
I think I was just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to see a new
Yeah,
Superman movie.
I
So
think so.
I think so,
I was
too.
just all wrapped up in it. That's I think why I made that much money. Everyone was just
Yeah.
wrapped up in the Superman.
But when
stack.
Even that
When
much,
you-
and it wasn't that much.
Yeah, no.
When you look at
Yeah.
it, though, like he's like sickly and frail, and like obviously he's Superman's son.
Yeah.
That was like the red herring to like push people away. Like,
No.
oh, he's so sickly, he can't be Superman's son.
Yeah, BS.
And then he is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, and then Frank Langella as Perry White.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
didn't notice this until I read this cast list, but James Madison's character is Richard White, and is he Perry White's son? Did she marry Perry White's son? Like, did Lois
I
Lane
missed
marry
that.
Perry
if,
White's
if,
son?
If so,
Like, why would they name him the same last name?
if so,
yeah,
if
that's
they
bizarre.
clearly didn't make that clear enough.
Not
It-
at all.
like if that was a crucial part of this story, we missed it.
all the
I
budget
don't-
went to the CGI, not explaining the story.
Exactly.
I don't-
exactly.
And then, and archive, and budget goes to archive footage of Marlon Brando, which was actually really cool. I like
Yeah,
seeing Marlon
yeah.
Brando
Yeah.
reprise his role as Jor-El. So that was kind of
Yeah.
cool. All right, so that's our cast. Rotten Tomatoes. Again, I think this goes back to what we talked about before, 1987 to 2006. No Superman movies.
This is ridiculous.
This is
to
ridiculous.
me.
So
this
critics-
is a joke.
Critics give it a 75.
I don't even know how this cracks a 50. I'm sorry. This is not
Yeah.
a good movie. This shouldn't even crack a 75 is a C. Let's think about that. Is this a C movie to you?
Oh.
There are a lot worse movies, but I'd say I'd probably give it a D plus or maybe a D minus.
Wow.
I
Okay,
don't
well,
don't
you're
remember
more
how the
generous than
CGI
me.
was, or like
I
the-
thought it looked
the
cool. Like,
scenes.
there were
Maybe
some
that's why
cool
it's so high
scenes.
because the critics rated is like, oh, it looks pretty. But
There were
like,
some
No,
really cool
this
shots.
comparison does not hold up. It doesn't
No.
hold
I'm
up
grasping
on
at
this.
straws here.
I don't think.
Grasping it.
I don't.
Kyle's
think,
over here. Maybe it's anything.
I don't think it would be a failing grade. Like I don't think it would be like a
I
total
fail this.
failing
I
grade.
fail this.
Eh,
This
it
is
was-
a failing movie.
It was not what we wanted it to be for Superman.
No, this is.
But there were some
Does
cool spots in it.
Superman fight for real?
We will
like
get
a
to that.
villain in this movie.
We're gonna get to that. Audience
get to
gave
it.
it a
No!
61%. Audience gave it a 61%.
That's generous as an
again,
audience.
yes, very generous.
And normally the audience is higher than the critic score.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing that
But
here
again, I
because
think-
the audience had a better understanding of Superman than at least than the critics did.
Yeah, but their nostalgia thing still won out a bit.
No, I don't think it did.
Well,
I
no,
think
that's why
they
it got
gave it
that
a
high.
61.
61 isn't. Well, I
Is
guess.
low.
Yeah, it's
they're
low.
at least trending more towards what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I'm surprised it's not more like a 40.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd give
Yeah.
it like a
Yeah.
Solid 42.
All right, so source material for this one, it's really they pull a lot from the old movies because what they did was what Bryan Singer did was he removed 3 and 4, and at the end of 2, when Superman goes out in search of Krypton,
Right.
he like picks up from there. So Superman Returns,
Which is really strange because as a Superman
well,
Returns
3 and 4
storyline.
was horrid.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, I no, but I agree with that. Don't get me wrong on that.
Yeah.
But when you hear the title Superman Returns. Okay.
Yes.
What do you think of?
He's returning.
No, I mean, like, what comic do you think of?
Oh, I think
Oh.
of after Doomsday killed him.
Oh,
and he
yeah,
comes
yeah,
back,
like,
right,
you know.
the reign of the Superman.
Right.
Run.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what you think of here. So
Sure.
when I heard the title Superman Returns, I thought, okay, we are going to be doing some sort of beginning. Superman died. There's going to be some sort of storyline here about him actually returning. You're talking about. This is a swing for the fences. We are, what did we say, 16 years after the last time a Superman movie had been released, right? What are you going to do? One of the most iconic Superman storylines of all time.
Right.
Why wouldn't you swing with that? And also, let's not forget, they had also already teed up a storyline here with Nick Cage being the Superman who returns.
Now, I mean, yes, but we're not going down the Nick Cage road.
He has to be mentioned one time per my contract per episode. But you get my point here is actually that storyline with Nick Cage was supposed to be Superman Returns after he reawakens.
Right, and it was supposed to actually be in the same kind of universe as the Michael Keaton Batman.
But my point being, you were expecting coming from this
Brandon Routh in a mullet?
I would have loved to have seen Brandon Routh in a mullet.
I would have rather seen Nicolas Cage in a mullet.
We did see Nicolas Cage in a mullet. There's photos out there of him.
There's also Nicolas Cage in a mullet lots of times. Just
Plenty
my
of
personal
times.
choice.
Watch Con Air.
That's a wonderful mullet. All right,
We're talking about bad movies, not good movies.
No, and we're not talking about Nicolas Cage. All right, let's go on to our correction.
I got you.
Let's get on to our correction.
Nick Cage.
All right, so in our correction, we try and get together and pick three of our most egregious acts in the movie, and we had some really good ones.
These are
we
real
had some
bad.
really good ones.
Yeah.
There's a lot to choose from.
Oh, there's
There's
plenty
a
to
whole
choose
lot
from.
to choose from, but the probably the least impactful, but actually it's pretty impactful. Superman's just a terrible dad. He's just a bad dad.
He's a terrible father.
Yeah.
He's a really bad. Did he learn nothing from Jonathan?
He's a terrible father. He when leaving to go search for Krypton, Lois is pregnant.
See ya.
Yeah.
Instead of just like never calling again, I'm going to leave the planet.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't just move across country. He gets in a spaceship.
He did the Ultra Peace.
Yeah. Let's add something here.
Yeah,
Let's make the matter worse.
Yeah, let's do it.
He knew. He has X-ray vision. This man knew.
He could hear the heartbeat.
He would have known that she had a heartbeat. He left because he got her pregnant.
Oh, that's why.
Wait, it's even worse. Get this. So
This is terrible.
If they're going the Superman 2 route, at the end of Superman 2, he wipes her memory of him.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
So
that is right. Yes.
She finds
from
out
the river.
She
from the
finds
river.
out that
yes.
he's Superman. They have relations,
Right.
And they're in. This is a kids program. I mean, it's kids
yeah.
And they're in the Fortress of
Sorry, I gotta keep myself in
Solitude.
check.
Right. And at the very end of the movie, he kisses her.
Right.
And uses one of those great Superman powers of "I kissed you," and you now forget that I'm Superman. So she forgets the whole.
Which is a completely. Where did he get this power, man?
Yeah, it's a great power.
It is a great power.
I wish I could kiss whoever I want to make him forget stuff.
Yeah, it's a fantastic power. But the problem arises now is that he left and she's just pregnant.
He impregnated her. Wiped her memory,
and then it was like,
and then left,
Krypton,
knowing full well that she was pregnant.
Yeah, she's gonna leave him alone with that super baby.
Oh
he
my
has no
gosh.
idea what's gonna happen. What if she comes? What if the baby comes out as strong as him?
It's a ticking time bomb.
When he was
a ticking time bomb, and he left.
He
lifted up a car.
He's picking up cars and tractors. He's like,
poor Lois.
He's like, I'm gonna go. I gotta go to Krypton. She's like, isn't that blown up? I gotta go make sure it's blown
right.
up.
Yeah, my dad's been a liar.
He's
been known to lie. I gotta double check.
Completely. This is a completely made up. There was no Krypton. He knew there was no Krypton.
No,
Didn't
it's
need to
blown
go
up.
look for Krypton.
He literally goes all
He
the
got
way
the
out
idea
there.
from his dad. He wanted to make sure. It's like, oh, did my dad just kick me out and didn't want me? It's like, I don't want this kid and Lois. I'm gonna go check to make sure my dad's there.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, he's just repeating his father's
He
footsteps.
traveled
Exactly.
all the way out there and got out of his ship, looked at all the rubble, got back in his ship, and came back.
Yeah.
He went, well, mm-hmm.
Well,
Well,
now I know.
I guess I'll have to go
well,
be a
now
father.
I know. Now I know. But in all seriousness, he had to have known. And if we're basing it off of what they said, this is right after 2.
Yeah,
This
right.
is the continuation.
Yeah.
He wiped her memory. And this
then
is
left.
insanity. And then he bounced.
And then he comes.
He's an absentee father for
Then
this child's first. What is he? 10?
Yeah, he's like 10 in the
Right.
So,
movie.
so it's like Superman 2, like, is it like canonical from when Superman Returns come back? Like, is that canon in Superman Return world?
I'm not
Because I'm
yes,
pretty
yes,
sure
it's the
Lois
same
knew that
world.
that was his kid. At least I remember her acting was kind of like, she's like, oh man, this is
Yeah.
definitely his kid.
She definitely knew.
Well,
Yeah.
so what? So he wiped her mind of that Clark Kent is Superman.
Oh.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like-
yeah.
so then he could just like disappear into anonymity again.
So she
Oh.
knew.
Oh.
So that's the connection.
So I guess
Yeah,
she
okay.
knew
So that's
Superman
the connection.
was
So
still
she
Superman.
knew Superman. She had relationships with Superman.
Right.
Ah, gotcha.
So she knew.
Yeah. Well, and the best part is
Okay.
that
Oh my gosh.
he comes back and he like and then super creeper. Right, if you guys
Oh,
remember,
he's
he
real
like
creepy.
X-ray visions their house
Yes.
to like see
Yeah.
if the
Yes.
kid's there.
And did he float up by the kid's
And then-
window too? Just
Did he
watches?
get
Yeah.
out there and then regret what he did?
No. What he
Nah.
did, he came back and he looked and he's like, she's with James Madison. He's way hotter than me.
But it's like,
I guess it worked out in the end.
it's like
Yeah.
I still want that baby though.
Yeah.
I still want that superpowered child you have. Though.
Yeah.
He comes back wanting his son back, but I don't want a relationship.
Yeah,
I'm not.
you're good,
I'm
you're
good.
good.
I'm good.
You did the hard part of getting him to like 10, so that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll just be friends with him now. It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So he
He
is
a
a
terrible
dad.
father. He is a terrible father.
All right, and that's not even the worst of the movie.
That's not the worst because
No.
we just ranted about this
Morally-
being for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I thought this would be like a 2-minute talk. This went on for a while.
This is rough.
Well, we started unpacking the.
I can't believe we
morally-
figured, we
morally,
I
this
did
might
not,
be the worst.
Before when we had named this as one of the topics, I had not unpacked everything.
No,
that,
we
that
hadn't,
really
no.
had come out of this.
No,
He's a worse father than when I started off with this podcast.
Yeah.
He's,
He's
much
getting worse. We got to
He's
move
get-
forward. He's going
With every second, he's getting worse. as
Child
a
Protective
parent.
Services is going to start going after him if we don't stop.
That would be a great comic.
You can't contain
That would have been a
your
better
kid.
plot line.
Superman
just-
gets arrested from Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
That would be
The
great.
movie's just him in court.
He's-
They did that.
Well, they brought him to court in Zack Snyder's movie,
Yeah.
and the whole courthouse blew up. So we know where that runs.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on to what we thought was worse, but is obviously not
It's
as
getting
bad
worse
as
and
him
worse.
being a bad father. So next is Luther's plan. So
Oh my gosh.
we touched on a little bit that it's very reminiscent of his plan in the first Superman
Yeah.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
But in all honesty, his first plan in the first Superman movie was actually made more sense because people would want that land. Like people would actually want that land. So
That's true.
because in this
Is-
movie,
was-
what's his plan, Kyle? What
I think
was
it was
he
to get
gonna
rid of California, right? If I'm
Well,
From
the
the
first
first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah,
first
the first
one.
one.
So
he
it's
wanted to blow
create a
the
new West
line.
Coast.
He wanted to create a new
Yeah,
West
yeah.
Coast right along the San Andreas line and sink California
right,
into the Pacific Ocean.
right. But what did Kevin Spacey's Luther want to do?
Oh, he was going to create a continent made out of kryptonite. Dude needs a new agent.
Even just saying it, it's so ridiculous.
So dumb.
It's so terrible.
So dumb.
What real estate agent
He's
is
so
having this
dumb.
conversation and is literally like, "Hey, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. I know a bunch of people are going to want to move there."
You know what's in right now? Uranium, plutonium, kryptonium.
radioactive
It's an entire
land.
radioactive
You
substance.
know, it would be great if we had like a whole continent of Chernobyl. Like that would just be great.
That would be wonderful.
That would be the best
Well,
thing
maybe
ever.
he didn't. Maybe he lied to his realtor. It's like, no, it's gonna be lush and green, and he in the back of his mind was like, no, it's gonna be all craggy.
Maybe. It was terrible
It was
looking.
like blue and black rock.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
it
it was
rose
horrid.
out of the ocean.
Yeah.
It didn't even look like the Fortress of Solitude. So it didn't even
No,
look
that
good like the
looked
Fortress
beautiful.
of Solitude.
Yeah.
And that's what you expected. When it rose out of the ocean, it looked like the worst possible land you could possibly
It was,
find.
and it was like
What are you
all
gonna put on
stormy.
that?
It was stormy and rainy and sharp. Like, it
Yeah.
was sharp. Like you're gonna get tetanus or
The
something.
worst weather.
Ooh.
How do you sell this as a real estate agent? So you can't dig into the ground. You're definitely gonna die of cancer 2-3 years in.
Nothing grows here.
rains
Nothing
all the
grows
time.
here. Rains all the time.
Great
Yeah.
view of the ocean,
Yeah.
though.
Where
So,
when do you want to sign?
You like Seattle? It's kind of like
Yeah.
Seattle. But,
Well, and the other side of
but
it is-
with radiation.
How do you get a home? So and this is the other thing. How do you get materials for a home brought to this island?
You
'Cause
create
nothing-
more
nothing
land to just.
grow-
He's gonna make a land
Yeah, land bridge.
a land bridge. No, it's
But
well,
you just sunk everything into the ocean.
no. But who cares if you can get? Who cares if you can get material there? You know how difficult it would be to build. Like it's hard enough to build a level house on actual Earth.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like a level house on Kryptonite Earth.
This was the worst
The
idea.
worst idea. It's not going to make him money.
It wasn't even
Lex
that.
Luthor
yeah.
is a high level genius in the comics.
right.
He is an idiot here.
This
He
is the dumbest idea.
Dumbest dude
Dumbest
ever.
idea.
If you notice his like henchwoman in the
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah, yeah.
she's always giving him looks like he's an idiot. Like
He is.
he
Yeah.
is like she's
She's
smarter,
than him.
Dental plan's great, though. That's why she does it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Healthcare is just
Yeah.
through. I
Yeah.
mean, it's tough to get good health
It
insurance
is.
these days. So she
Lex Luthor cares about his people.
I don't get it. I don't like. I really don't. So to your point, this is
Yeah.
almost a play-by-play remake of Superman with
Right.
Christopher Reeves,
with a terrible plan.
but with terrible ground. Like just with literal ground that is terrible. Like, what are you going to do with this land?
No, yeah, nothing. It's not. And the other thing is, and we talked about this a little bit before the podcast, but just creating that much mass on the Earth in
Right,
the Earth's
right.
oceans is going to mess not only with the Earth's climate and the ocean itself and tides, but it's also going to. I'm sure it would throw off the orbit. Like if you just start adding new mass from nothing,
Mass
Just a
to
rotation or something.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
change
going to
something.
ruin everything.
Stuff's gonna get
He's
messed up
dooming-
real fast.
he's
He's
dooming the
the
planet.
planet. Yeah.
Yeah, dooming it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Didn't part of Metropolis flood? I think that
Yeah,
they
it
showed stuff
did,
floating,
yeah,
like people
tidal
dying.
waves.
Right.
Well, here's the deal. Like
He's dooming the planet.
that would be
at the
okay.
same time he believes that he's actually creating
Well,
real estate.
that's what I'm saying.
what
That-
in
that
the
would be okay.
world?
That would be fine if he was like, my plan is to terraform Earth and destroy it because I have an awesome Lex Luthor space station that
There
I'm
you
going to live
go.
in.
There
I'm just
you
gonna
go.
kill everybody because I'm an evil genius.
I'm with that. I'm
That would
with
be
that
better.
if that was the plan.
That'd
Maybe,
be
maybe
better.
he was hoping if like the United States declared war on him, it'd be like he could like plead to other countries because like I'm the only one that lives here. It's not my
Right.
fault that it flooded. Like
Right. It's the best move.
His plan is to plead to the UN.
I don't get it.
Oh man, his wigs were too tight or something, man.
Ugh.
Did he wear a wig in this one?
No, he did.
He wore he
wore
wore a
the
bald
wig-
cap,
yeah.
or maybe Kevin Spacey shaved his head. I don't know, but he wears
I don't
he
think
wears
he
a
shaved his
wig a
head.
couple times.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he shaved his
like
head.
at the very beginning when he obviously has a creepy relationship with that old lady that's dying and he gets all of her money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was wearing a wig in that one because he
Well,
takes the wig off and puts it like
we don't need to dig into any more
No.
of Kevin Spacey having creepy relationships.
Yeah,
That's true,
He
that's
did
true.
a perfectly fine job.
Yeah.
of
He,
representing himself.
he just channeled himself in that scene.
his Lex Luthor self.
The actor said, "Just be yourself," and he took it seriously.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
wait, that's not in the script. Well,
Yeah.
no, it'll work.
It'll
He's
work
the
here.
villain.
It'll work.
Oh,
Trust
my
me.
goodness. All right. Well, so this ties into our final grievance here.
So bad.
Is the villain, which arguably is not Kevin Spacey. Because
Not the
Kevin
villain.
Spacey is not really a threat to Superman.
Nope.
He does get a little jab in there with that Kryptonite
Right, but we're gonna
dagger,
get
which
to
is pretty cool.
how that
But-
doesn't make sense in a second.
Yeah.
Right, but the actual villain, you were closer when you said the villain is real estate because
The villain is
actual,
real estate,
The actual
yeah.
villain is the
Yeah.
is the piece of land that is terraforming the Earth that
Right.
now Superman has to deal with. The
Yep.
problem is
Entirely made of
all
kryptonite.
kryptonite. As
Massive,
soon as he lands on it.
massive landmass made entirely of kryptonite.
He lands on the island,
Right.
and he automatically gets sick.
Yeah,
he
can't
weak.
handle it.
Yeah.
He's
He
weak.
gets beat up by Lex Luthor
Yep,
and
stabbed
Stabbed
by
on
him.
the island
Yep,
too.
stabbed on the island.
So he's now got kryptonite in his
He's
bloodstream.
got kryptonite in his bloodstream.
He's
got
done.
it
There's no
stabbed
sunlight. It's raining.
It's
It's
raining.
storming.
Yeah,
it's
He's
storming.
got to go on the ground,
He
under the
is
water.
He's dead.
He's
He's
dead. He's dead.
He's not dead though.
No, he goes under this thing. He goes under this thing.
Wait. Being close to kryptonite hurts me, right? So
This is the
so I-
insanity.
no, I'm gonna
Let me
get-
go
I'm gonna get closer. I'm gonna get
underwater.
closer
Not
to
just that.
kryptonite.
Not just that. Let me go further from the frickin' sun.
I'm gonna hold my breath.
Do you guys remember the continent fights back? Do you remember when he starts pushing it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and it starts protruding out?
Like, coming onto his
Yeah.
hands.
So it was a fight scene.
That's,
Yeah.
It wasn't just him pushing it
It's
away.
the
It was
only
fighting
fight
back.
scene. Oh my gosh!
The island was like, maybe if I just stab his fingers a little bit more, he
So
won't be able to do it.
He lifts the largest piece of kryptonite ever constructed since Krypton.
Uh-huh.
He lifts it
Yeah.
with his full and complete powers.
And this is not Captain America wiggling Mjolnir.
No.
This
no.
is I'm gonna carry this through gravity, break the atmosphere, and shove it off into space.
I'm not fully convinced it didn't come back.
It needed to. It needed to kill everyone there because this movie was so bad.
It was so bad.
Here's a
But
question I have: Why even get rid of it? Like, why not just move it out to sea a little bit,
Or just
like,
break it up.
yeah, do it slowly.
Yeah.
But here's the other.
Well, I guess it was terraforming the Earth. So he had
Oh,
to
I
get
guess
rid
it
of
wasn't
He had to
stopping.
Get,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it was
you're
still
right.
growing,
Okay,
growing,
yeah,
growing,
yeah,
growing.
okay.
He had to get rid of it.
But
still,
here's the thing.
Yeah.
What is Superman's one weakness?
Kryptonite. It's the one thing he doesn't have
And
in
magic.
Ex Machina.
Black. Oh,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
right.
and magic. It's
You're
true.
right. Okay,
That's
I
right.
shouldn't say one.
Come on, Zatanna.
What is his most common weakness?
Kryptonite.
Kryptonite. And he overcomes the most massive piece of kryptonite ever created
Yeah.
and lifts it with all of his powers with kryptonite in him.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, he also had it in him.
Yeah.
This is insanity.
And then he.
This
you
man
remember,
is dead.
Well, then you remember. Then he falls. He
Right.
falls all the way down, and they rush him to the hospital. And this is actually a kind of a cool scene. And
Oh,
it
right. Yeah, you're
should have
right.
happened after he was killed by Doomsday, because it's called Superman Returns.
Right.
But they're rushing to the hospital, and they're trying to get like IVs in him and stuff, and
Yeah.
the needles are breaking on
Yeah.
his skin.
Mhm.
It was like that was cool. But then he's just better.
Right.
And he's like the next day he's just gone from the room. He's perfectly fine. He's just Superman again.
Right.
Did they have a window open? Was there sunlight on him?
There was. I don't even remember that.
Maybe.
Because the reality here is when he needed to heal so badly from fights like this bad where he's gotten this much kryptonite poison.
Right, put him in the
He
sun.
has to get up into space, into sunlight,
put him
and
in the
he
sun.
has to rejuvenate.
Yeah, he gives the sun a big hug.
Right.
It helps.
Yeah.
Or go to the Fortress of Solitude. Usually has some way of channeling the sun to him.
True.
Because he heals.
Yeah.
He has a healing chamber there and stuff. Get him somewhere. But at least they didn't put him in the ground like Snyder did. They buried
Yeah,
him
that was the worst.
after
That
Batman
was the
v Superman.
stupidest
It's like,
idea ever.
if there's any chance this guy's gonna make it, you gotta, he's gotta get some sunlight.
He was gone for so long, they didn't remember.
Oh man,
So,
So
there's
bad.
absolutely no way he should have won that final fight
no, he should
against a rock.
You know who should have won? James Madison.
Yeah.
He should have just dropped out of that helicopter, decked Kevin Spacey in the face,
Yep.
turned back into Cyclops, and shot up the continent.
That's true. He could have melted that thing down.
Right down.
Right there.
Right there.
Yep. We finally get our Superman X-Men crossover
And that kid, that kid,
that we've all been waiting for.
that kid did nothing.
Yeah.
He pushed a piano into a dude. That's like it. Like
It's a
you
big
got
piano.
You got a
Bumped it.
Superman kid. He's like all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna drop my inhaler and push this piano into it.
Right. Right.
Like that's it though. Like they never actually did anything with his
No.
kid.
Well, this is
Like,
so
couldn't they
many
have-
missed
what if they
opportunities
teamed
in this
up?
entire
Yeah, but
movie.
when Superman was young, he wasn't sickly.
No, I
He
No.
picked up a car.
No.
well,
Or was it just, he's like mixed DNA. or
yeah,
whatever.
he's half human.
Yeah.
That
yeah, I
would be
guess
that would
it's-
probably
well,
be
then
the
Lois was coming with some real bad DNA.
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, verdict time.
Verdict.
Let's verdict it up. All right, so verdict. How would we make this movie better? Let's just each go around and
Okay.
say, so Kyle, how would you, being our guest, you can go first, break the ground. How would you make this movie better?
Come up with something original.
There you go. I like
Yeah.
that.
Man,
Yeah.
I would have. That movie would have been great with the same way
oh,
it was
yeah.
going if it just wasn't a repeat of Dylan. Because I enjoyed him pretty much acting as Christopher Reeve. Like just being, watching Superman from when I was
Sure.
younger. I was
Sure.
like, oh yeah, like that's probably why I fell in love with the movie until I got older and I looked back on it. I was like, oh, real estate, eh? Yeah, just be original.
Yeah,
That's fair.
for sure.
It's a good
Or
one.
if you remake it, do it well.
Yeah.
Don't, like, make it
yeah,
reasonable.
if I could
have
make
it
it better, I would say do it better.
Do it better. Do it better. Do the thing better.
What would you do, Logan?
I would have made it about, if we're gonna do a Superman Returns,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do Returns,
Yeah.
let's make it about him coming back to life after Doomsday. Let's
agreed.
do the Superman Returns storyline, and let's actually do it the way that it's laid out in the comics. Like,
Trust the source material. It works
Yeah.
because for a reason.
Exactly. And I mean, and
We
if
always
you're
say it,
really
man.
coming back, swing big. I like the idea
yeah.
of being original, but then be original with a storyline that hadn't been done before.
Yeah.
Like, it hadn't even been touched on. And it's one of the most popular storylines. Go with that. If you're going to stick with the title Superman Returns, make it that.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm going classic though. If you want, Bryan Singer really wanted Lex Luthor to be the villain. I get that.
Sure.
Lex Luthor's a mainstay.
Okay.
But if you're going to go Lex Luthor route, 1, make him smart.
Yep.
2, make him get in a giant freaking robot.
That's
and fight
fair.
Yeah, he's got his
Superman.
he's got his suit that
fair.
he always
Give
wears.
him a
Yeah,
freaking
get him in
mech
that
suit.
giant purple
Give
mech
him a
suit.
giant mech
The
suit.
giant purple mech suit, and let him go
Or the green
fisticuffs. Whichever one.
Yeah,
Let him
yeah.
fight Superman head to head.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
we
that would've
still
been great.
haven't seen that.
Like, have
Yeah.
him
we
do.
still haven't seen Lex Luthor's mech suit.
No, we haven't. Have him go through some, like, his plan is to gather all these resources from all around the world. He does, like, various heists. Superman's always a step behind him.
Yep.
But they don't make any sense, and all those heist pieces are used then to create this mech suit to fight
I
him in the
agree.
end.
Oh man,
I
they
agree. That
They
would
should
be
do
a
a
good
movie
story.
from the point of view of Lex Luthor. Lex
Ooh.
Luthor.
That would be
Yeah,
That would've been
like
a bad idea.
Superman's just in the background. Like he's
Yeah,
only on
yeah.
like screens in the background. It's not
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
about him
Interesting.
or any villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love, well, now you're barking up the right tree here.
Yeah.
You know, I love villains. I would love, the number of times that I would say I would love to see a villain win, like actually walk away.
You got to read some
and-
Stephen King then.
Oh, I know. I know.
We might
Stephen King get real dark here.
Yeah.
we might in the new Suicide Squad.
But they're not technically villains at that point.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
I would do a lot of
are.
things that they put a
Not
bomb on my
really.
neck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
mean, come on.
Well, yeah, I guess. But that's a movie about villains.
I
And hopefully
agree,
it'll be good.
But like my point being, the thing that Infinity War did well, the villain won.
Yes,
He
that was
set
super
up
cool.
with
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
that
okay,
he
I'll
had
give it
set
that.
out to do,
Yeah.
and he won.
And he was the main character.
He was the main
He was the
character.
story arc. He
Right.
had the rising fall.
More
in action.
movies need
Yeah.
to go with that, and I'm not saying that needs to be the end of like the arc. Like
Right.
you can have
Right, 'cause
more
that
after that, but
Endgame comes
more
back and he
movies
loses.
need to actually have heroes lose at the end of the movie to set up for something further.
Oh.
I mean, another one.
And what do you think of Empire? Why is Empire so good?
Right.
Empire Strikes Back?
Exactly.
Right? Empire wins at the end. The end of that movie, you left the theater thinking that Darth Vader had, like, they won. Like, the rebels were were on the run.
Think about Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Far From Home.
Yeah, man.
That's technically he
My boy
wins at
Jake
the end.
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal wins in the end.
He does. He reveals, and we still believe he's alive, but he reveals Spider-Man's identity.
Right.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet.
Like that's
Put a
that's
big alert.
the key. That's the key
Yeah,
here.
for
is
sure.
We need more movies like that for us to be like actually see the flaws in our heroes.
Yeah.
And have those get exploited
Mm-hmm.
and not like they overcome. Like this was a movie about Superman overcoming everything
So, so,
ridiculously.
so what you're saying is Superman should have drowned.
I would have liked to. You know what you could have done? You could have had Superman lose at the end here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have had him go down into the ocean. You
Yeah.
could have set up for another film.
Yeah.
You could have done something. You needed to do better with the real estate. You didn't have to like you
Yeah.
couldn't,
And not
you couldn't
call
have
it
it
Superman
end with
Returns.
that. But you
Yeah.
get my point.
Next
Like
movie's a
yeah.
bunch of for sale
there's
sites
a
over
lot.
it.
Yeah, I mean the movie ends like that. That'd be
Lex
terrible.
Luthor's
That's
Oh
the
my
end
gosh.
credits scene.
That'd
It's a
be awful.
commercial about Lex Luthor Island.
But they could
He's
have
filing
gone
for bankruptcy.
They could have gone in a direction where
Yeah.
Superman, if they're setting up for something bigger, which is their hope, like Superman loses.
Right. The desire was for Brandon Routh to go on
would've
and make
been great.
more movies, and it just didn't. It obviously didn't
Right.
come through.
Right. We need our
Yeah.
heroes to lose a little bit more for us to appreciate when they win.
Mm-hmm.
True. Truth.
Truth.
Kyle, thank you so much.
Thanks for having
Kyle.
me. Thanks
for
for
coming
having me. It was
over,
great.
man. It was
Yeah.
great to have you down here. It was great to have your insight on Superman.
That's right.
Fantastic. Yeah. Hopefully we'll have you again sometime.
Yeah.
That's right.
Next time I'm up here.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every Monday.
And Wednesdays.
No, just Mondays.
And Wednesdays?
I don't think we can do Wednesdays.
We can do Wednesdays.
All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.